Hello Aquarius and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your fortnightly reading for January the 1st through to the 15th. So happy new year. And let's hope that 2022 is going to be a great year for you. And speaking of which, the 2022 yearly readings or forecasts are out. So the link for that is in the description box below. If you're interested, just head over there and it'll take you to the link to your forecast. So let's see what's coming in for the first 2 weeks of 2022 anyway with this reading. And this reading, Aquarius, is for Sun, Moon and Rising. So I always recommend to watch all 3 of your placements if you know what they are to get the fuller picture of what's going on for you or the holistic view. And this is a general reading, Aquarius. Just take what feels right, leave the rest. And if that does really resonate, there will be an extended reading. The link for that is in the description box below. Finally, we've got some cards have come out for you. Okay, right on cue. Sword for Mercury Libra and One Princess Fire Palace. Okay, so this energy is very much a mindset shift about something that has been developing here that could have been getting you a little bit excited. Something that could be, you know, a new goal or a passion. So there is a sense of maybe taking a little break from it for the moment, just to kind of get your head clear and straight about what this is and what it looks like and where you see this going. So that's kind of coming in super strong. Let's see what else is coming in for Aquarius around this. And I do feel like it could definitely be around a particular relationship in your life, but it can also be around a creative project or something that you know, a new goal or that you are definitely working on. And it could be that you know, there might be a need to be a period of rest and recovery that comes through. We've got Cup Princess, Water Palace. So you've got the 2 princesses coming out that need a little rest here. Messages coming in. So messages are wanting to come through to you around your heart and around something that you're working on, perhaps your career. And so that's why the universe wants you to take some time out to meditate, contemplate with that sword for Mercury Libra. Find a space for anywhere where you can create a space mentally for these messages to come in, because the universe has got a lot coming to you, a lot of messages around that. So I feel like straight off the bat, you are getting something around definitely with the Water Palace and the Fire Palace, either a relationship, a lot of messages around that, or something to do with your career. So, or something you're working on. So let's see, what have we got? The Justice energy. So more Libra coming in. There needs to be some sort of balance here. It could be related to a contract that's coming through. Yeah, the crossed by the 10 of Cups, like, you know, it's got to be something that's bringing long-term happiness. Otherwise, I think you're not going to want to step into it. The King of Swords, here you are. The beautiful Aquarian energy of the King of Swords. That is the card for you in the deck. This is, again, with the Justice energy and the King of Swords, there needs to be impartial judgment on this, about where this is going. It feels like that seems to be really important. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So the reason why there's so much that needs to be considered here at this point in time is because this is something that could actually really develop into something solid. You know, this is something that is meant to be in the world or for the world. So this is where something really solid is definitely forming and something strong is forming. And so this is where you want to make sure this is what you want, and then there's a good strategy around it. The 2 of Pentacles. So it could have been, this could be around work-life balance. Bringing that in or bringing something out of balance here, the 10 of Wands. So letting go of something that's become burdensome. Maybe you've been working too hard or putting too much effort into one thing and not another thing. So for some of you, there could be 2 different energies that you are working with here. So there's 2 people wanting your attention or wanting your time and energy. So that can also be coming through. We have the 8 of Pentacles. So I do feel like a lot of this is to do with your work. You're working very hard at this relationship. These can be children. So if you've got children, these can be 2 different children or 2 different people that are younger or with less experience that are wanting kind of, they may be looking for some kind of guidance or mentorship from you that could be coming through. These can just be aspects of yourself as well. Page of Wands. Okay. So George likes that one. That is pretty much the equivalent of the Wand Princess, but we've got the masculine and the feminine coming in. Again, this is the energy surrounding you. There's something that you're developing or working on here. The Ten of Swords, so letting go of something. Absolutely. Something ends, something is over. And that's a hope and fear. We've got as an outcome the Nine of Swords. So I feel like you're going to spend a lot of time thinking about this. So I really feel like getting your head straight, mental health could be really good with this. The Moon energy. So could be a few interesting sleepless nights in terms of some intuition coming through here around this. And here comes the clarity, which is really nice. So you find the clarity that you need, and it is about releasing something that has been a struggle, and a struggle of the past as well. So immediately the universe, is brought this kind of dilemma to you and gone, how is this working in your life? How is this balance coming in? And, is this really truly making you happy? And it could be looking at a work contract or a soulmate contract with the Libra energy of the Justice energy crossed by the Ten of Cups. Now, the Ten of Cups is a nice energy. It doesn't really cross you, but it does represent happiness, long-term happiness. So if that's crossing you, that's what's stopping you is this going to be making me happy? It also might be that part of the decision or the contract that's coming up here could actually be putting a stop to somebody's happiness as well. So that's also something that's coming through, because there is something very solid forming here. In your conscious mind is you. You've got the King of Swords. This represents Aquarius in the deck. It's not gender specific, but it is representing that there does need to be some kind of mental detachment here. There's decisions to be made, and those decisions need to be made really carefully so that they're fair. So because I feel like there's potentially you're working with two different energies, two different people, and it's like you need to work out what's a fair outcome for everybody, and also a fair outcome for what it is that you want to develop here. So if this is actually messages around something that you're bringing in terms of career, home, or something that you're wanting to work on that brings a lot of passion and love and is, bringing up, this could even be a relationship. It's like, I do need to get my head clear about that. Perhaps there's a strategy that needs to come in. At the base, we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is why I think there's some very heavy consideration here, because this is very much a new path is opening up for this or these. This could be things like considering schooling for children, or considering housing for people, or considering where you are going to start a business. How is it going to start? Are you starting your own? Are you bossing up somehow? It definitely is like, it's this thing that there's a lot to consider. There's something that could potentially be making money. Well, you're not going to just throw something at it. This is an idea that wants to actually be brought into reality here. So the Ace of Pentacles is good because it's got a bit of a Mercury retrograde kind of energy to it. And I feel like this is because Mercury is actually in Aquarius at this time. And you're crowned by Mercury and you've got Aquarius here. So I feel like what this is it's going back over plans, revisioning, revising, making sure things are okay, making sure things are working, making sure something is really solid and going to be able to be the best that it can be. So you're reworking stuff and making sure, you could be going over the fine print, you could be going over legalities, you could be doing all sorts of things like that. So there is a sense of just making sure that the ideas are rock solid in terms of what it is that you are wanting to bring in here, this new contract or this thing that's developing. So in the recent past, we have the Two of Pentacles. So this is where, something's been out of balance. Your energy's been stretched between two different things or two different people coming in. So this is where you could have been juggling money if you're wanting to get something off the ground, or you're kind of, trying to work between two different people that both are kind of have their demands, and you're like, oh, I don't. But it can also be a sense of, perhaps you've been a little bit ambivalent about something that's on offer on contract here, and it's a sense of a contract that's in your life, and it's a sense of going back over it and maybe reworking it, rewording it, re-editing it, however that works with this Two of Pentacles. And this can be, like we said, work-life balance that's coming through. So in the near future, you've got the Ten of Wands, and this is where you're kind of looking at where you may have said yes to something and you want to cut that tie. You want to say no. Something becomes a little bit of a burden, and there are decisions that need to be made. So the Ten of Wands is like, I'm so ready to let this go now. I'm so ready. I'm just like, and it may be a bit exhausting, the process of going back over something and reworking something. But I do feel like, at the end of the day, you get to the other end, you get to the other side of it, and you get the clarity that is needed, even though it's a process. So yeah, I think that's interesting. And this is what we've got for you, the Eight of Pentacles. So working at something. Even if you're on like vacation, like I think a lot of you are, you might still be working, but even if you're on vacation or on holiday, it's a sense that something's kind of still going to come and niggle at you. Like the plan needs to be reworked. Even somehow that's going to come back. But the energy surrounding you, this Page of Wands, is that there is something that there's potential growth here. There's an opportunity here to develop something. It could be starting small, but it feels like you could be getting inspired. You could be getting excited. This could be setting new goals for things, but it's just got this very pragmatic energy around it where it needs to kind of be run through like some kind of mental examination. So the Page of Wands is a nice energy. This is where you're thinking of starting something, or you've just started something, like the Wand Princess energy. And you could be receiving a lot of messages around like the direction of that, how it's going to work, and all that sort of stuff that's coming through. Interestingly, you've got two tens and you've got the two aces. So there's a lot of things ending or wanting them to end, and a lot of things wanting to begin. So I do feel like this is kind of like you're being dragged over old material or old terrain again. It's like, I don't want to go back over all that stuff again. But I think that you will see the benefits eventually, but there might be a bit of resistance. This is like, I just want to let something go. I just want to end something. It's done. It's complete. Just cut the tie with something. So yeah, I feel like, it does potentially take a lot out of your energy. But, we've got as an outcome the Nine of Swords and the Moon card, which is where the Nine of Swords can be stress. The Moon card can be confusion. It can be a challenging energy to work with. This can be, being woken up at the middle of the night and waking up worrying about something or overthinking something. It just feels like something's really playing on your mind here. And the Moon energy is not necessarily helping, I think, in the mix at this moment in time, because it's just kind of like, it's like, have I forgotten something? Have I missed something? It's just that sense that there's something that was kind of, like the hamster wheel kind of energy going through. So there could be a few sleepless nights just kind of going over stuff inside your mind, and just very overactive mind coming in. But then we've got the Ace of Swords, which is like, finally I can just find the clarity and let that go, which is really, really good. Whatever it was that was bothering you or had to go back and relook at, it's like, finally. And this can be that represent a new contract as well. So a lot of this could be, if there's a sense that you're going back, this could be like in terms of if it's a job contract or a contract for a home, it may not just be a simple signing. It might be a going back and forth kind of energy as well. Frustrating. I understand this could be frustrating energy for you, Aquarius, but ultimately it's good because you don't want to miss something. You don't want to miss a detail, or you don't want to sign or agree to something that you go back, you end up like in, a couple of months' time into the future and go, I shouldn't have agreed to that, or I shouldn't have signed that, or I shouldn't have, missed something, and now it's causing problems further down the track. So this is where it's actually really good. And it is an annoying energy. It's making you go back to something, but it's really working the plan and reworking the plan. And so that this little Page of Wands or the Wand Princess, whatever, opportunities coming in for this energy or both energies, you want this to really work for them. So it's going to really pay off further down the track. So it's putting that hard work in now. And this 9 of Wands energy is like, yeah, you're going to be a little bit of a weary warrior kind of thing. You're going to get a bit tired. You're going to be like, I just want to release this. But you will get there. The universe will get there. So yeah, probably not necessarily the energy you wanted to start the year with, but because Mercury's in your sign, it's going to kind of really anything to do with ideas or communications or plans, it's going to make you really work at that. And it can actually be a very inspirational time for those of you who are born under a Mercury retrograde energy. This is where a lot of those ideas could be coming through super fast. So this energy could be you waking up with like these brilliant ideas in the middle of the night. That can also be coming through for some of you. And yeah, I do see that you're going to be tired. So look after your health. And that's why you've got the Sword 4, which is the card of rest. Make sure you rest and get good sleep, or at least try and find a way to rest and recover. It says, it's only a thought and a thought can be changed. I'm not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world. I'm willing to change and grow. So a lot happening, like I said, in your element, the element of air in terms of your thoughts. Loving others is easy when I love and accept myself. My heart is open. I allow my love to flow freely. I love myself, I love others, and others love me. Interesting energy. I'm going to put that underneath the little cup princess here because it kind of might feel like as well with the cup princess energy that you're kind of going into something feeling confident, but you might actually be apprehensive but not necessarily want to show it. It might be new terrain for you or even the people around you. So that's where I think that it's this kind of open-hearted vulnerability that comes in about loving and accepting yourself, which is nice. And we have here the peace symbol coming in as the charm. This is all about, the terms, doing things under your own terms, the terms of your agreement, standing on your own 2 feet with something, or how other people are going to stand into their own 2 feet. Because these cup princesses and the wand princess, they're like the teenage energy, whether they are quite literally teenagers or people that are less experienced. It's kind of like or whether this is like something in your world that you're wanting to develop. It needs time to mature and grow and to be able to stand on its own 2 legs, whatever this is, whether it's a relationship or a creative idea or a business idea or a plan. And that's what there's really the spirit of independence that's coming in here with this. And yeah, also that is the card of, obviously it's the peace symbol, and we can see a lot of mental strain and stress that's coming in, and really try and find with that Sword 4 energy crowning you some space for peace. And whether that is like meditation, contemplation, going for a walk, however that presents to you, it could be watching Netflix or reading a book or just doing something totally different, but try and find the peace within a situation, because I think mentally you're going to be very, very busy and there's a lot of material to be going over. So that is the energy for the start of 2022. I think you're working on formulating a lot of ideas, and then at the end of this fortnight, Mercury starts going backwards, starts retrograding, and will eventually go into Capricorn later in the month, which will you're getting messages now because Mercury's in your sign so strongly about where these ideas are going and how they can ground into some sort of reality. So you put in the hard work now, you're going to get the benefits later. That's kind of the energy that's coming through for you, Aquarius. So I'm going to leave the reading here. I'm going to take it over to the extended reading now, where we'll see where this is going in the near future and the future beyond. What happens after the clarity comes in and you're able to let go of something. Where is this all going? What's the terms, the contracts? How is this developing? So we'll look at that in the near future and the future beyond found in the extended reading, as well as focusing in on career, money, love, and relationships. So that's all in the extended reading. Would love it if you come over, Aquarius. The link is in the description box below. Also, just a reminder that the 2022 yearly forecasts are out. If you want to find out what's coming in beyond these 2 weeks for you in 2022, that reading is in the description box below as well. The link for that is there too. So, yep, happy 2022. Happy New Year, Aquarius. And thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment.